Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone Reloaded Titan Mode. Since the last episode I've finished out a lot of space on the platform. I've got more room for trees now. I did go ahead and make a chisel and put some decorative elements on the periphery here. Most of this dust in here, in fact all of the dust, will eventually be dug out and replaced with dirt. I just don't have enough dirt right now because I need it for other things. Let's take a look at what's in the quest journal that we can do just immediately. In sifting the dirt, I have my seeds and I got my dirt before. I don't have a rubber sapling, but what I do have is the rubber seed, and I will have a rubber sapling as soon as I place it and break that and pick it up. So now I have finished this one, so let's claim the reward. Open the bag. Flux infused hammer, and it is fully charged. This is a helping reward. That will help until it runs out of charge. Once it runs out of charge, it will be fairly useless, but hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. As you can see, I've gotten quite a bit of wood and some extra fences. The recipe made more fences than I expected, and some various seeds that will definitely be useful. Some saplings. I did get acacia and birch so far, in addition to the oak that I started with. I have been sieving some dust, so I've gotten, or not really dust, gravel, because I wanted to get some iron. I needed iron for the chisel. Let me think let me cut down one of these trees and plant the rubber sapling while I think over what I need to say here. I have been looking through some of the recipes, and mostly I don't think Titan mode in Project Ozone is as difficult as what I have been doing in my other series using the FTB Infinity Skyblock. I'm going to try to resist the temptation to continuously compare them, but since they both have the same idea of making the recipes significantly more difficult and progression oriented, there will be some of that comparison going on. And for right now, I will just say that the recipes are quite a bit easier in this one. At least in the early game, I obviously have not checked all of them. Now, one of the other things that's kind of nice in here that is just a little bit different from that mod pack is that I was looking for the X Compressum mod, because the X Compressum mod is one that's in a couple of mod packs. It's in FTB Infinity Evolve Skyblock. So yeah, it's in there. Another one that it's in, I think, is Sky Factory 2. What X Compressum does is it lets you make special hammers that you can use to hammer compressed blocks like these. And in so doing, it's very fast. Well, this mod pack does not have X Compressum, but it does add hammer recipes that will let you do the same thing. So, wherever that went, right there. So I just hammered compressed cobblestone into compressed gravel. If I put the compressed gravel down, I can hammer that into compressed sand. And if I put the compressed sand down, I can hammer that down into compressed dust. And this compressed dust appears to be added by the custom things mod. It is not an extra utility standard thing. So you can then take in and just uncombine it to get your dust and put it over there. One nice thing about doing it this way as opposed to how X Compressum does it is that it doesn't take up nearly as much usage on the hammer. So that is a big advantage there. I need to probably get some more string. Let me infest one of these trees over here. So let's see what's next on the quest book. I need to make my tinker's tools. And I do need to do that because eventually this paxel will wear out. And it would be nice to have some other tools. I think we've got tool leveling in this one, so it'd be nice to get those tools leveled up too. I need to create a crucible to start making some lava. I assume that this is going to guide us through it. I'm supposed to make 8 clay blocks first. That's going to make a lot of crucibles. That's going to make, I don't know, something like 7 crucibles, something like that. So I don't know that I really want to go that far with that. But before I do that, in order to make the crucible, I'm going to need clay. And clay is done by using water in a barrel and combining it with dust. Well, I'd like to have an infinite water source, and I did make enough iron to make a bucket. Let's look at what's involved in making a bucket. This is the first recipe that's modified a little from the original one. To do this, I'm going to need to make it out of iron plates. This recipe will be familiar to some of you who have been looking at it at another series. However, the iron plates in this one are made using the engineer's hammer and a single iron ingot, so it's not so expensive as that other mod pack, and maybe a little easier because the engineer's hammer itself uses iron and plane sticks, so I'm not going to have to do anything crazy like make a coke oven first. So I can go ahead and do this. Let me get a piece of string as well. Now I can just come over here and make my hammer. There's my engineer's hammer, and 3 ingots to get 3 iron plates. And now I have a bucket. So let's go ahead and put my more permanent water source over here. And one of the things I'm being very careful about is watching out for leaving spots, because it is at night and we have the risk of a blood moon in this particular series, so you got to be very careful about leaving even the smallest spot that mobs could spawn in. So bringing this barrel back over here, and I guess I don't need that barrel of water. Let's just go ahead and make clay there. And I'll put one of those barrels away and bring the other one over here. Now I need to make 8 clay. So I've got 1. And I've got 3 more dust, so I'm going to need 4 more dust. So that should be 4. Alright, so I got my 8 clay, and now it's probably going to give me additional instructions here. That was this one. So I need to make porcelain clay, which will involve 7 dust combined with 7 clay. So I'm going to have to break 2 of these blocks. And for now, I'll just put the others away. And I'm going to need 7 bone meal. I do already have 3. I did sift a little dust. And let's come back over here. I can tell the trees are going to be in the way for a while. And sift dust until I have 7 bone meal. Now while I'm sifting this, let me mention some mods that are not in Project Ozone Reloaded that were in the original that do change the flavor of things a little bit. Metallurgy is not in this mod pack. And because metallurgy is not in here, there aren't nearly as many products from dust and gravel and so on. So you don't have nearly as many ores to handle, so I think the processing of ores is going to be a little easier in this particular mod pack, at least in terms of the logistics of handling all the different types and avoiding accidentally alloying things and just generally making a mess of things because there's so much stuff. It's not that I don't like having that. I think that that adds an interesting element to the game, but it can be a little bit of a headache sometimes. Another one that is not here is Twilight Forest. I noticed that it does not have Twilight Forest or all of the associated objectives that Project Ozone had. That's actually kind of nice because while I think Twilight Forest is kind of a nice adventure zone and it's very progression oriented, it has never been one that I actually liked to do the progression in. I've mostly historically just used it as a mining age, and part of that probably comes out of my own personal preference for tech mods over magic mods, although Twilight Forest, I'm not sure if I would call it a magic mod, it's more of an adventure one, but it still isn't very techy, and so it's not quite as appealing to me personally. It looks like we've got our bone meal, so let me just come over here and we'll put this away, and we can go ahead and put all of these products away. So 7 clay and 7 bone meal will produce 7 porcelain clay, which I can come over here and make into an unfired crucible, and I can then bring back over here. I've got things a little spread out right now, that's unfortunate, and put in the furnace to get a fired crucible. Let's look at progress here. So I've completed the porcelain clay, the unfired crucible, I've completed the crucible, so I'm ready to claim my reward here. A portal gun. A little expensive to fuel at this point in the game. Okay, we'll put some of this stuff away. Now, in order to use the crucible, I just need to put it down on top of a torch, like that, and load it up with some cobblestone. Now, while I was sieving, I also got some powdered iron ore. Let's take and put that in there and go ahead and get some more iron for something else I want to make in this episode, even though I might not have a quest for it. Okay, next is to create Cobble Jen. That's going to be a world interaction node and a transfer node items. And since I do not have an ender pearl yet, how many of those do I have to make? Just one? Yeah. It looks like I'm going to have to sieve until I get enough redstone to make a whole block. Let's see how much redstone I've got here. 8. So I'm actually going to need 11 unless the transfer node recipe has changed. Let me take a look at that. Actually 12. Because I need 11 here, and then I'm going to need to put one of these on top, and it's going to require one more. So I'm going to have to make some smooth stone, some glass, and sieve some more another 4 redstone at least. So I'm going to go ahead and start sieving those, and I will cut the video and be back when I've got all the materials. Alright, I'm back and I have my materials, and I have also gone and moved the stuff out of this area because this is where the Cobble Gen's going to go. I can't put it anywhere around the edge because all of this wooden stuff, there'll be a risk of a fire. So I'm going to put it in the middle there, and I have all my materials. Let's just go ahead and craft the items. So I need some stone slabs, and those will go there, redstone in the middle, glass on the sides, and that gets us a transfer pipe. and I'm going to need to make a redstone block. Eventually I'll have ender pearls, and with ender pearls you can make a lot. You can make 4 of these at a time, but at the moment I can't do that. Not quite ready for that. I need to make a chest first, so let's go ahead and make a chest. Redstone block in the middle, redstone on the sides, transfer pipe on top, stone for the base. So there's our transfer node there. Let's see if it... So I need a world interaction upgrade, and if that uses the default recipe, I actually don't have what I need. So I may have to do some more sieving here. Yeah, because I'm going to need some lapis. I think I have enough iron. I'm going to need 7 iron for that. And I do have that much. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and sift some gravel, and I'll just cut the video and be back when I get my gravel sifted. Okay, gravel has been sifted until I got my 4 lapis, so I am ready to go ahead and make my world interaction upgrade. I need an iron pickaxe for the middle, thankfully not diamond, and 4 iron on the corners, or 4 iron on the sides and 4 lapis on the corners. Let's see if that indicated it was complete. Yes, and the diamond one is a builder's one that will build stuff, I think. So that'll be nice when I get ready to start placing a lot of blocks. Maybe when I build the next platform. And put that over in the junk column. Soap. Soapy water. Super soapy water. It says don't drop reward. I have... Oh yeah, don't drop the soap. Okay. Yeah, that can also all go in the junk drawer. So I'm ready to go and dig this out a little bigger here in the middle and get started with... okay, not a hole. I was worried when that was dark. I thought, oops, a hole. Better not run off in that. And I'd like to go ahead and reclaim that mossy cobble. So let's go ahead and put down cobblestone here. I'm really just recovering my dirt so that I can use it more constructively elsewhere. And we'll have to dig out 3 blocks there. Actually, I'll leave the one with the cobble in the middle. Put that down there. And we got a bucket, so I need some water. Which corner did I put my water in? It's over here. So water on one side, and this has melted down some lava at this point, so we'll put lava over here. Just like that. And there are a couple of interesting things you can do with this. Let's go ahead and put the world interaction upgrade in, and we should see it start to fill with cobble. And it is. So one thing that I like to do, that I will not be doing unfortunately, is I like to use a compacting drawer for holding my cobblestone because it holds just an insane amount of cobblestone. However, in this mod pack, the recipe for the compacting drawer has been changed, and while I don't think this red alloy ingot would be a problem or the circuit plates, the remote order logistics pipe that's required on each side requires an ender pearl and a basic logistics pipe. And the basic logistics pipe requires lots of gold and stuff like that. I'm just not quite ready to do that yet, so I suppose that will have to wait. One thing I do want to do though is come over here, and this still has a bit of lava in it, but it's no big deal, I'll just lose it. I'm going to put the crucible down over the lava on this side. That'll keep me from stepping in lava, and it will give me a source for heating more cobble to make more lava with. So this should start filling up and start melting down twice as fast as it was before. We're now at melting speed 2. With just a torch under it, we were at melting speed 1. Now, that's actually not going to be going and making a lot of lava just really soon, because the other thing I want to do is come over and put a chest on the other side so that we can begin to accumulate I guess I'll have to put something down over here like that, so we can begin to accumulate some cobble. When this chest fills up, since it's the closest thing to the node will start sending back to the crucible again, and it will just always keep basically 8 buckets of lava on hand until I reach the point where I can pipe that extra lava out somewhere. So, having done all of that, let's go back to the quest book here and see what's next. It wants me to sieve gravel. I need 16 iron ingots and 64 gravel. Otherwise, I've gotten all of these items. Do I have... I don't have 16 iron ingots, I don't guess. I bet I could get them. Yeah, let's just come over here and get these and smelt them up. And that'll get me 20 iron ingots. And to get the gravel should be even easier. So that finishes the gravel part, and when that iron is done smelting, I'll have the iron part. In the meantime, let's go ahead and make the tinker's tools, because we're beginning to run low on time here, I think. And I want to get that done. I'll just make a bunch of wooden planks here and some sticks. Alright, so these blank patterns are used for making the tool templates. I forget exactly what the name is. Stencils, there we go. If we put a plank underneath there, we'll get a stencil table. If we put a log underneath it, we'll get a part builder. If we put a crafting table underneath it, we'll get a tool station. If we put a chest underneath it, we'll get a stencil, a pattern chest. Okay, so we also got all these books along the way as sort of side effects of having done that. Let's go back out here. This one is now done, so I can claim that reward. And let's see what's in the bag. Another iron paxel, which is not really, it's still not really a crap reward at this point, although it will be before too long. I'll just put that in there and put away some of this other junk. And then we'll put these down somewhere convenient. Now, there's a particular order to these that's a little more convenient for connecting them up. I think I want the stencil table, and then the pattern chest, and then the part builder, and finally the tool station. And the reason for doing it this way is so that I can move stuff out of the stencil table, just put it in the pattern chest. The part builder can see the pattern chest, and these other two components are kind of out of the way. And we'll just make a logical progression from left to right there in the tool building process. So I guess that I've done pretty much what I need to do in this episode. We're sort of getting past the early part of the sky blocking where it's really just very grindy, and we'll be doing some more quests pretty soon. It is still going to be very familiar for a while because of all of the needing to make Tinker's Construct tools and the basic sorts of stuff. Before I wrap it up, let me go ahead and pull this iron out of here and finish this quest. So we've got that. We'll claim a reward bag. Packing tape. I've seen that before, but I don't remember what it's for. Storage drawers. Seals drawers for moving. I have to think about that. For now, it can go in the junk drawer. And the next item on the agenda when I resume will be sand, because I will need to get all of these items from sifting sand. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode, and I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, what else is there? Share, all that sort of stuff if you like the episode, and I will see you next time. Thank you.